Welcome to Navigating a Broken Vessel. I'm Dave Harris, and I want to welcome you to this episode. Today, I've got a special treat. I have a friend that I've known for, it's been 25, 30 years, probably even more than 30 years that we've been talking. And she was a girlfriend of one of my best friends. And so we've known her really, really well. And I'm going to have her tell the story, if she's okay with it. I'm going to have her tell the story of how she met my friend and how that came about, because I think it's such a funny story. And then we'll talk about some of the things she's gone through, some of the things that have been maybe what we would call a broken vessel moment, right? And I think that she would probably agree, and I hope she's okay with me calling that a broken vessel moment as well. With that in mind, I'm going to welcome Kristi Dawn Day, cute as a button.
Thank you.
No problem at all. So Kristi Dawn Day, that's your full name. We always called you Kristi Dawn Day. And then the cute as a button, do you even remember where that came from?
No, and you guys would call me Cab for cute as a button. Yeah, I think one of you guys just told me I was cute as a button, and then it just stuck all these years. So
it's funny how those things can happen where you have something one moment in time, and all of a sudden it's something that's there forever. So I always know you as cute as a button.
Yep.
And in my phone, I have you as Kristi Dawn Day. There's probably not room for cute as a button. I could probably put the CAAB, But yeah, so tell me, so I kind of talked about, this, that you met one of my friends, James, right? And tell me about how you met James.
Okay, I came down here for college, and I was working at Walmart in the shoe department, and I will never forget that a bunch of you guys came in there that day, and the first thing out of James's mouth was, "Hey, do you have a boyfriend?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Hey, you want to dump him and go out with me?" Kind of threw me off, and that's where it all started.
So not a pickup line here all the time.
No.
Most people would say, "Oh, you've got a boyfriend? Okay, well, never mind."
Yeah, well, he didn't care, so.
So you guys dated for a little while. We would do some rappelling and other things together, right?
Dancing, rappelling, Denny's, you name it.
It was a fun time. And so you live in, where do you live now?
I live in Burley, Idaho.
Great. And I think you're from Burley, Idaho.
Yes,
is that right?
Born and raised.
Gotcha. So kind of back home, kind of, with family and other things. And for 30 years now, tell me how things have changed. Tell me about your family and things like that.
I have 3 beautiful boys. They're all grown. Just one of them at home now. I work at a radio station. We have 8 radio stations there. I have 3 grandbabies.
Lots of good family. And I see.
And I do. I have my mom's there. My dad passed away about 5 years ago. I lost a brother 2 years ago. But I do have my sister. She's still there. And we kind of lost connection for a while, but she's like one of my best friends now. So
Nice. And that's, I can see you kind of tearing up because I know how family oriented you are. You love your family, your children, your grandkids, everybody, which I think is awesome. And especially I know, because I know what we're going to talk about. I know that that's probably one of the reasons why you're kind of a bit emotional, and I totally get that. And I want to just let you know, I mean, we're going to cut as needed, right? So, as people are listening, as people are watching, they'll know that we've cut as needed, because I want to make sure that you have all the time that you need for yourself as well.
I appreciate that.
And with that in mind, so I do want to talk about, the last 7 months or so, if that's okay. And I know that now we're kind of getting deep in the weeds a little bit here, but do you mind telling me kind of what led up to this experience that we're going to talk about, tell the story, things like that?
Okay. Are you talking about my
Yep,
journey that I've been on for?
Absolutely.
Tomorrow will actually be my 6 months since I've had my surgery, but I was actually down here in southern Utah in June on vacation with my family. Well, 2 of my boys and my grandson, and we spend 8 days here, usually every year. And we went home, and then the next week I decided to go to Pioneer Days with my sister in a little town called Oakley, Idaho. And my sister works for a farmer there, and they have a trailer that they get to park right up front, so we get the best seats in the house, basically. And I'm sitting there, and anyone who knows me knows that I'm a prankster and I like to joke around a lot. And so we're sitting there. It was Patriot night as well, too. And so there was lots of paramedics, the policeman, my brother-in-law, who's actually the sheriff of our town. He was there as well. And so I'm sitting there with my sister on this trailer, and she thought I was joking, but I had a massive seizure. And she nudged me with her elbow, telling me, knock it off. She did it a couple times, and she realized I wasn't joking. And so she yelled at everyone to come over and get me. And there was no paramedics there yet, which is not usual. Usually the ambulance are the first people that are there. And for some reason that night they weren't there. So got a hold of my brother-in-law. He got a hold of the rest of the cops, and they got their pickups over there, loaded me in the back of a police truck and hauled me over to the airport, which is just on the other side of the rodeo grounds. And I was life-flighted to Twin Falls, Idaho. And they did an MRI on me. And while I was in there having that MRI, I had another seizure. But I guess I should back it up. When I had my seizure, I actually quit breathing. Everything stopped. I was gone.
Yeah, you had died.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there was a... Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
There was a girl there that, she's part of search and rescue, and she's a paramedic. And thank goodness she was there, and she was able to help and give me everything back before they loaded me up into the helicopter and life-flighted me. But once I got to Twin Falls, they did the MRI on me, and I actually had a second seizure. And so we had to do another MRI, and that's where they found a massive tumor in my brain. It was on the left side behind my left eye, and it was basically the size of a golf ball.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, and so I stayed. I don't remember any of that. I remember the ride to Twin Falls, joking with the pilot. That's about it. But I don't remember much from the hospital. My sister has videos, that she showed me, and them telling me what was going on. And so they scheduled me an appointment in Boise to meet with a neurologist, and we went over everything there. Then they scheduled me to have it removed on August 5th.
So how much time had come from between the seizure and the surgery? How much time?
I had the seizure on July 19th. And so that was probably a couple weeks before I had to have it removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the size of a golf ball, but no cancer. It's just a benign tumor.
Completely benign. Yep.
Wow. So, but still something that does not belong in your brain.
Right. And the weird thing was, because it was so large, the neurosurgeon said he's pretty sure that I was born with that there was some kind of little flap or something that was in there when I was born that made that continue to grow over these years. And I've always suffered with major migraines and my eyes and, different things like that. Always my left eye was, the vision was in and out. And so he said, I'm pretty sure that that's why you were dealing with these issues.
So people would say, well, yeah, I get headaches, things like that. It's sometimes we don't know why the headaches are there. I mean, and obviously this show we're not medical professionals. We're not talking about anything medical, no advice in that way. But, one of the things that for me, it's like a lot of times we live with physical things that affect us mentally as well. Was there mental effects before the seizures? Did you have mental struggles because of the migraines, things like that?
Right. And see, before this happened, probably a month or so before that, maybe 2 months, my job is very stressful, lots of migraines. I mean, I deal with a lot of work, and it's just me in there doing all this work. And I came home, there was a couple different incidents where I came home and just stressed out of my mind, headaches, overwhelmed with work and kids and everything. And I just fell down. I don't remember any of it, but I woke up and I was on the ground. And I thought I was just passing out because I was so stressed out, and here I was chugging a Red Bull or something to get me through the day, things like that. And that happened twice. And so I decided to go to the doctor, and they ran some tests, and they're like, I'm pretty sure it's just, your anxiety, you're stressed out. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And so I just kind of ignored that, not realizing. And after talking to my neurosurgeon, he's like, I'm pretty sure that you had seizures those 2 times as well.
Oh my goodness.
I had no one around to see what was going on. It was just me.
So some time had gone by, and you didn't know that time had gone by because you were in the middle of the seizure.
Yeah, and thank goodness, I just got home from work. The thing that has been crazy and I'm so thankful for is I wasn't ever in my car driving, and I'm, drive back and forth to work in different places. So yeah.
Gotcha. So you've got a golf ball sized tumor inside your brain, right behind your left eye, and you have surgery. And how did the surgery go?
It actually went really well. It took him, I think, 2 hours longer than he expected. He said, there's a lot of things I don't remember, so excuse me on that. There was actually kind of bone attachments, different things he wasn't expecting when he got in there. He actually had to cut a large, I don't know, golf ball. I don't know how big of a hole in my sinuses. He said, I'll be fine. That'll continue to heal. But yeah, he started it up at the top left of my head and didn't have to shave my head. Didn't have to do any of that,
Nice.
which I was thankful for.
Nice.
But started up at the top left of my head and went down to the front of my left ear. And then opened that up, and he was able to cut my skull, and it was just a big square is how he did it. And cut my skull out. I thought I was going to have titanium plates, but he was able to give me my skull back. But he said all the surgery went well. You know, just like I said, took a little bit longer than expected. He put in, excuse me, my brain
Totally fine. Yeah, totally fine.
Bone powder on the edge of my skull so that'll actually grow back like my normal skull, and then sealed it with titanium pins.
Wow. So you got a little bit of metal, a little bit of all kinds of stuff in your head right now, right?
Yeah. My eye was full blown black and blue. Still can't feel the top of my head. My face is still pretty swollen. It was amazing, but a few hours after surgery, they wheeled me back to my room, and I walked back, with help, to my bed, and of course I was joking, and so it was good. It was scary heading up to the surgery, but.
So, and I've actually seen on your Facebook page, I've seen the video of you being led out there and joking.
Yes.
Which I think is so fun. And one of the things I've noticed in, catching up with you these past few days is that you are Kristi Donde, cute as a button.
Yep.
And so, I mean, a lot of people would look at surgery like that and say, well, there must be some kind of damage, some kind of, issues. And you've referenced the fact that sometimes you have a little bit of a hard time, but I've noticed, I mean, your personality is there and everything. It's the Kristi I remember.
Right.
Which is great.
Right. And I'm really good at that. I'm really good at putting on, sorry. I'm really good at being happy, letting people know how happy I am. But the hard part about this has been the mental struggle. That's the hardest part.
Of course.
Because I'm good at, like you said, I'm good at letting everyone see how happy I am. And trust me, I am happy. I'm very happy because it could have been a lot worse.
And I think, and you and I talked a few days ago about how, that's, it's like the best outcome that could possibly be. But at the same time, I mean, how can a person deal with all that?
Right. Like, people don't realize I had to go do speech therapy and occupational therapy, which I passed on the first day, I was so thankful for that. But physical therapy was a different story, having to, don't want to say teaching myself how to walk again, but I had to learn how to do that and stand up on my own and stand straight and how to catch a ball again and, teach my eyes how to work together. And, that was tough.
And you were telling me the other day that it was 6 months that you were not able to drive, and tell me about that.
Yes, actually, I had really bad sensitivity to lights and to sounds, and I'm a lot better than I was. I couldn't sit at home for 6 months and watch TV, like a TV show to, kill my time. I basically was stuck in my house for 6 months doing nothing because I couldn't do much or it would overwhelm me. So, I would sit at home and maybe get up and walk around and do little things here and there, but I couldn't drive anywhere. I couldn't jump up and run anywhere. If someone needed to take me to an appointment, I had to, get a hold of someone that had a clear schedule to take me. And that was hard because you think about it, you want to run and grab you a drink or something, you can run to the store and go get it. I couldn't. So my 6-month mark was what would have been January 19th.
So that's just about 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
3 weeks ago.
Yes. And so I did have plans, with a friend to come down here, and we ended up canceling. And I was like, you know what? I'm not canceling my plans. I need to get out. I need to get out of my head. I need to get out of this house. So I'm leaving. And a lot of people probably think I'm awful because my neurosurgeon did recommend me taking a driver's assessment test. But I'm like, as long as I drive around town with my family or, whatever, am I okay? And they said, we don't want you to have any more costs on you, because, that stuff's kind of expensive. And
Sure.
so I just kind of drove around and I did great. And so when I decided to come down here, I was like, that'll test me, and I did. I jumped in my car, just me, myself, and I packed my bags and came down here. And tomorrow will be, 11 days that I've stayed here.
11 days you've been vacationing here. When you say here, we're in St. George, and that's about 500 miles or so, I think, of driving.
6 hours to get here, but it did good for me because, I tire really easily, but I was able to concentrate on the lines of the road and, the cars back and forth. And that's the things that I need for my head is, to help me heal is things like that. So I used it as a healing, a stepping stone for this journey.
Sure. And now, so tell me, I mean, obviously people talk about cabin fever and you're referring to, being kind of stuck there. Tell me, how have you dealt with this inside your own mind?
It's been hard. Lots of staying home, crying, yelling, because I'm home all by myself. Everyone's working, my kids all work, and you can't do anything, and you're just stuck there. You're stuck in your head. All you think about is you just think about everything basically, and I bring myself down a lot. So it's been really depressing for me, and the anxiety and the depression, and I couldn't do it. Like I said, I could have stayed home and kept being this way, but that's why I decided I needed to get out and go somewhere to clear my head and do something for myself that I needed to do. And that's why I'm here.
And one of the things I want to make sure is also clear is you have had a tremendous amount of support.
Oh, yes.
Your family so tell me about some of that support as well.
Okay. So I didn't know anything about this at first, but while I was directly after my surgery, everyone, my work, my family, basically my sister, they put together a benefit for me at a local place called Wick's Steakhouse, which is it's a little local steak place that we all visit every now and then. Excuse me. And my work, got a hold of different people. There's a country artist. His name is Heath Clark. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's great. He donated his time to come in and play. And Wix donated all of different things. My sister's work donated all the potatoes. My work got a hold of people and donated all the meat. And my brother donated a whole bunch of meat. And at first people were like, we're not going to have that many people there. And we sold close to 200 tickets to go. And we had donations like you can't believe from local businesses. We had so many donations. It was amazing. And they lined up that entire building in 2 different sections of it. And it was nice. I had people show up that I don't even know who they were, and lots of friends that I haven't seen that drove hundreds of miles. I had people, like I said, that I've never met Venmo me money. I didn't have insurance. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I had even an old boyfriend that I had in junior high, beginning of high school, that drove several hours to go see my sister to hand her an envelope full of cash for me. So that's been, I'm so grateful for that. I'm that person that I always think, I don't have that many friends. But then I look at something like this and I think, man, I do have some great people in my life.
I love that, and I appreciate you sharing that. And I mean, definitely, it's hard because it's like watching a friend, who's crying, and I feel really bad about that. I really appreciate you talking because I really believe that this will help a lot of people. And some of the things to me that I think is that a lot of times we kind of get stuck in our own little bubble, and we get to where we don't think about the effect that we could have on other people.
Right.
Sometimes we think about it and we think, I struggle with depression or anxiety and things like that. And it's like, we actually could go out and do something to help another person, hand someone a bag of cash and drive 100 miles for a steak dinner that, you pay 4 times more that you would normally pay for it. And I think that can be very helpful for you as a person who would want to get over those struggles. But we'd rarely think about it, what it does for the person that we're helping.
Right.
And I love that you're telling us this. I appreciate it very much, for sure.
Of course. Yeah, and that's the type of person I've always been, is I'm always one who wants to give to everybody else. Even if I'm struggling, I'll be that first person that jumps in to help someone else, or even just, hold the door open for them, or just say hi or have a good day. That's, it means so much to people when you do any little thing to help someone out, even if it's not, money to help them with anything. Just being there for someone and letting them know you care. That's what we all need.
Nice. So I appreciate that very much, you sharing. Tell me about Kristi today. What are your plans going forward? You have to return back home tomorrow, so I know you'll be driving your 500 miles tomorrow to get back home. You've got your children, your grandchildren. Tell me about you today and what you feel like will happen going forward.
Well, I'm still part-time with my job. I have been working at least 4 hours a day. So when I get back home, I do have some changes that I'm going to make. That's part of the reason I'm here. And some people know about it, some people don't, but just relationships, friendships. I've learned a lot about people in my life through all this, about the ones who really care and the ones who don't, and so I'm making some changes that way. I won't be able to return back to work full time until probably May, so I'll still be at home, but I'm gonna go enjoy my life, and I need to learn how to take these walls down that I've had, for so many years, that I need to make sure to take care of me before anybody else. And like I said, just do stuff for me and enjoy my life and enjoy my kids and go from there.
Nice. And tell me, we talked a little bit before we started recording about the spiritual aspect as well. Tell me, you've told me you're not religious. Tell me about the spiritual aspect of it, maybe getting close to nature or something like that, something that helps you as a person. The reason I ask is because I've had people on the show before who've talked about 3 pillars. They talk about mental health, physical health, and then spiritual health. And that spiritual health can come in a variety of different ways. Talk to me about that aspect of it as well, if you don't mind.
See, I'm one who lately I wake up and it's a struggle just to get out of bed. So I've made it a point that every day I get up and I don't care how cold it is outside, if it's pouring down rain, whatever it is, I go outside, I bundle up and just watch the sunrise every day. And that just does something for me. It just calms me. It brings a smile to my face. It makes me so happy. And I do the same thing at night too. I make sure to go outside every night just to watch the sunset. I have the mountains in my backyard, it's something that just brings me peace, and I need that. And so I do that every single day. And I've done that almost every day that I've been here too. So
it's funny you mentioned that too, because I love doing the same thing. There's something about it's almost like, I would even call it meditation, although it's not like formal meditation, but it's an opportunity to really feel at ease and just say, wow, look at this beautiful thing before me.
Right.
It's so very helpful.
Right. One of the things that I've had to learn through all this too is meditation. Like I'm one who was like, oh, why would I be meditating? Why would I need that? But that's something that I have had to make myself do. I wake up with anxiety so bad that I have to go sit down and make myself meditate for a while to bring myself back down to where I need to be. And it is peaceful. It helps you a ton and if people don't know how that is, it does help.
It's helped me. I've done mindfulness, just, concentrating on your breath, listening to music, soothing music, and other things. I have found great success with that myself.
Yeah. And another thing is, the past well, it's been 3 days since I've been here. I've had like major anxiety attacks that I've never had before. So I did get a hold of my neurologist and they said, you need to start reading. And I'm like, I don't read. I've never had time to read since I was younger. So I've started reading again. Well, bought a book while I was here and just started reading. And what I have to do, because my brain runs a million miles an hour, I had to actually put on brown noise in the background so I could concentrate on reading. And so that has helped a ton. And I hope to be able to continue to do that as well.
Very nice. I'm going to ask you one question that I think a lot of people would be like, wow, what a crazy question that would be. But I want to ask you, do you feel like the tumor, the situation, the surgery, the last 6 months, do you feel in any way like you're glad that it happened, or that you feel like it became an opportunity for, you know what I mean? In other words, was it some sort of turning point? Do you feel like it's, no, not at all, it's just something I hate and I wish it never happened?
No, to me, I just keep saying I believe it happened for a reason. I don't know what that reason is quite yet, but it has helped open my eyes to see different things that I think I needed to see, that I've been holding inside for a long time. And I'm not glad it happened, not at all. But, it happened for a reason, and it helped, like with my job. I don't know if I mentioned with my job, I take care of 8 stations on my own. And they came to me and said, Kristi, we had no idea the amount of work that you actually did. They had to hire in 3 new people and all the sales rep doing their own orders to handle what I did on my own every day. And so to me, it was kind of like, it's an eye opener for everyone and for me to be able to step back and maybe relax and be able to enjoy my life a little more, because I've just been going insane, I guess is the word it would be, running ragged all the time. And it's just been stressful. So like I said, I'm not happy that it happened, but it happened for a reason.
I love that perspective. I would love, so at the close of our episode here, I'd love to give you an opportunity, if you wish, to say anything else that you'd like to.
Well, I've said this a million times, but I'm thankful to still be here. And I definitely had someone watching over me, because it could have been a lot worse. And I'm thankful for all the people that I have in my life that have supported me over the years, and even the people that I don't know, because they're the ones who've helped me get through this.
Kristi Donde, I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Kristi Donde, cute as a button. And I'll tell you what, I would never want anyone to go through something like that. I can't imagine going through things like that. And sometimes it puts in perspective for me. It's like, wow, I feel like I've got problems. And then I have a friend that I honestly, like in my mind, I even feel a little guilty because I haven't been on Facebook that much. I had no idea any of this was going on. And Kristi came down and reached out to me, and I looked at her Facebook page, found out all of this that was going on, and had a little bit of guilt for not knowing, what kind of a friend am I, things like that. But I appreciate you very much coming on. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too.
Thank you. I would love to hear comments. We've got Facebook, Navigating a Broken Vessel, as well as Instagram, Navigating a Broken Vessel. You're welcome to send me an email, dave@navigatingabrokenvessel.com. We'd love to hear comments on it, and would love to hear maybe some perspective. Maybe some of you have gone through physical struggles as well. I would love to, know about it and know what you've done to be able to get through that as well. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Take care. Have a good one.